SVG-TV News for Monday, July 21st, 2025. I am Yvette Boynes with the details. The government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines today officially launched its first biennial transparency report and third national communication, marking a significant step in the country's commitment to addressing the global climate crisis. The launch, which also signaled the start of a 4-day workshop, aims to strengthen the nation's climate change response and environmental resilience. Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development and Culture Carlos James welcomed the initiative, emphasizing its importance in building transparency and accountability in climate action. He told the opening ceremony that it is a critical step in enhancing the country's ability to monitor, report, and verify climate data and policies, and that the involvement of a broad cross-section of stakeholders will ensure this process is inclusive and impactful.
This project we launched today represents our most comprehensive environmental transparency effort to date. Working with the United Nations Environment Program, and supported by the Global Environment Facility, we are creating a detailed assessment of our greenhouse gas emissions, tracking our progress towards environmental commitments, and documenting our adaptation efforts. Over the next 4 days, we will bring together government officials, technical experts, and sector leaders for intensive collaboration, and this workshop will strengthen our capacity for climate monitoring and position us to access critical resources for resilience building.
The Sustainable Development Unit is leading the coordination of the transparency reporting process. Director Janelle Miller-Findlay explained that a comprehensive approach is being taken to address climate challenges and build national resilience.
Our commitment is threefold. Firstly, to build resilience. As a nation vulnerable to accelerating climate impacts from intense hurricanes to sea level rise, our government understands that resilience means building stronger, smarter, and more sustainably. We are investing in early warning systems, climate resilient infrastructure, and sustainable land management to protect our people and resources. Secondly, to meet our national obligations under the Paris Agreement. This global promise requires robust and accurate reporting through the enhanced transparency framework. The reporting is crucial. It demonstrates our progress, highlights challenges, and enables us to ensure essential international support for climate ambitions. And thirdly, to build national capacity. No policy or vision can be realized without the skilled hands and minds of our people.
The initiative is being supported by the Global Support Program for Anglophone Caribbean Transparency and other partners, including the UN Environment Program. Regional Network Coordinator Brittany Ranchan stressed that complementing the biennial transparency report is part of St. Vincent and the Grenadines' obligations under the Paris Agreement. Ranchan noted that transparency reporting is not only a technical requirement, it's a crucial tool for evaluating progress toward national and international climate goals.
Kids have special circumstances and flexibilities that allow us to, have a little bit more time and seek additional support to report as needed. But in essence, these reports represent a major step forward, not just for the individual countries, but for the global climate process. And so for the first time under the Paris Agreement, both developed and developing countries are required to report on their progress towards achieving their climate goals using the same frameworks. And so this brings a shift towards greater equity and accountability, which is more important as SIDS going into the global community to understand, the level of equity between developed and developing countries in terms of climate responsibility.
The biennial transparency report is expected to be finalized by the first quarter of 2026. It will include updated data on greenhouse gas emissions, mitigation actions, and adaptation measures, and serve as a key document in SVG's ongoing environmental and climate governance efforts. As the nation continues to recover and rebuild following the devastation of Hurricane Beryl in July 2024, farmers across St. Vincent and the Grenadines are playing a critical role in maintaining food security and food sovereignty. This was highlighted by Minister of Agriculture Sabota Caesar, who noted that despite the challenges, farmers have shown resilience and commitment to national food production. He said over the past 2 months, we have seen a bumper crop of plantains. In response, the government purchased the surplus and implemented a national food security initiative by distributing the plantains to communities across the country.
You heard the issues on social media. You saw it on Facebook. It was all over the news. And I want to thank the plantain farmers of St. Vincent and the Grenadines because we are witnessing the emergence of a green gold in plantains. Over the last week, we were able to discuss with buyers in the region, and within the coming days, we will be witnessing a very large export of plantains from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We had a technical meeting in the Ministry of Agriculture, and at that meeting, we spoke about the issues touching on concerning the establishment of a core farmer group program, the different aspects of certification, and we will be having a meeting for all plantain farmers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I am indeed grateful for the assistance from the ECCB that will be financing the purchasing of produce from the farmers of St. Vincent and the Grenadines through a mechanism that will be implemented by the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Over the coming days, we are going to increase the purchasing of goods at the Vinci Fresh buying depot, and we are in the process of completing the rehabilitation of the buying depots around the country, for example, at Lacroix, Lanley Park, Lauders, and there is an allocation for the buying depot in Belmont.
Minister Caesar announced that as part of the ongoing post-hurricane assistance efforts, farmers holding vouchers distributed in the aftermath of Hurricane Beryl can now redeem them for supplies. He said starting this Thursday, farmers with these vouchers will be able to access $700,000 worth of agricultural inputs at the National Input Warehouse.
I take this opportunity to thank the government of Morocco for the assistance with 10,000 sacks of fertilizer to the farmers of our country. And we are going to ensure that within a matter of 14 days, throughout the length and breadth of this country, we're going to go into all the farming communities, we're going to speak to the farmers, and we do not want it to be a situation where you have to come to Kingstown with a pickup or you have to make a payment to a trucker to get the goods to you. We are going to bring these to you in your different communities. Again, we are seeing significant assistance from the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines through the Ministry of Agriculture to our farmers. This morning, I want to take this opportunity to thank the Medicinal Cannabis Authority for the excellent work that they continue to do. We are changing lives. We are ensuring that families, that they have food and nutrition security in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I recall a few years ago when we established the Alternative Sustainable Livelihoods Program in North Leeward. And the MCA said that we want to have a diversification platform whereby the farmers who hitherto were only producing cannabis will be able to produce cannabis under a legal regime because they now have their licenses, but we will be able to grow, produce, and make it available to the marketplace.
During a meeting held last week in North Leeward, attended by over 150 stakeholders, Minister Caesar revealed that the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines will soon establish a marketing platform to purchase produce from farmers. He said his platform will allow the government to buy, package, and distribute local produce for domestic consumption, regional markets, and even international export. He said it is part of our long-term strategy to ensure farmers have reliable outlets for their produce while promoting agro-processing and reducing food imports. Minister Caesar also highlighted ongoing initiatives in Top Hill and Lasham, North Leeward, where technicians have been deployed to assist farmers under the new marketing program. He said government has already begun purchasing produce from farmers in these areas, and he is particularly pleased with the high quality of the produce coming out of North Leeward. He further noted that discussions are underway to procure a tractor for the area, which is expected to be delivered in the coming months to assist with land preparation and mechanized farming. Minister Caesar further disclosed that the Ministry of Agriculture recently held discussions with representatives of the Alba Bank to explore financing and support under the Alba Agro and Alba Aragua initiatives. These programs, he said, are expected to bring further investment and development to the agricultural sector in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
These programs, we are going to work with the Alba Bank so that we can have a collective approach to food sovereignty within and among the ALBA member countries. Monies are allocated for the establishment of a fleet of vessels, and these vessels have been identified and will be in St. Vincent and the Grenadines so that we can train an exceptional cadre of multi-talented and multifaceted young persons to be engaged in longline fishing. It is definitely an exciting time to be a farmer and a fisherman in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I want to commend the excellent staff of the ministry. But let us not forget that we have within us the ability to lead. Leadership begins at home. And what we are seeing here today and what we are celebrating here is leadership. We must continue to lead the path for food and nutrition security, not only here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but the onus is on us to ensure that we execute that important duty of care to not only feed our country, but to feed our region.
The Beryl Emergency Resilient Recovery Project, Beryl, was officially launched today, aiming to provide short-term financial support, including assistance to micro and small businesses affected by Hurricane Beryl. At the event held at the NIS Conference Room, Project Coordinator Nerissa Fergus announced that more than 700 businesses are expected to benefit from the initiative, which is scheduled to run until 2030.
Grants and support to assist in the recovery. We are targeting over 700 micro and small businesses that were affected by the hurricane. And they will not only receive grants of between $1,000 and $3,000, but we'll be providing business support, training, coaching, and monitoring of these businesses for a period of 6 to 9 months.
The $60 million Beryl project, which began in November 2024, has already started disbursing income support, with the last distributions made in June. Fergus noted that the project also includes a labor-intensive temporary employment program managed by BRAXA, which will provide short-term jobs for vulnerable individuals, similar to the National Road Maintenance Program.
This program was implemented by BRAXA on a need-as-need basis and provides cash for work to vulnerable, unemployed parts of the population, including those affected by the hurricane. It will support community infrastructure maintenance, climate-related disaster preparedness, and post-burial recovery efforts. This activity will finance cash for work and goods such as small tools, safety gears, and small equipment to undertake small infrastructure works under this LIFE program. The program will cover individuals over 18 and potentially from poor households, including households that are female-headed and residents of communities where works will be undertaken. Cash for work will be paid through the payment mechanism implemented through the Bank of St. Vincent.
In addition to income and business support, the Beryl project will play a key role in the reconstruction and recovery efforts across St. Vincent and the Grenadines, targeting communities hardest hit by Hurricane Beryl. The South Windward arm of the ruling Unity Labour Party has selected Rodden John, a lecturer at the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College, as its candidate for the South Windward constituency in the upcoming general elections. He will replace outgoing MP and Minister of Foreign Affairs Frederick Stevenson, who has served the constituency since 2010. John, a 35-year-old resident of Bible, was the sole nominee for the position and was officially selected at a constituency meeting held on Saturday. In a telephone interview with SVG-TV News, John outlined his immediate priorities, stating that he plans to engage with residents to build unity and formulate development plans tailored to the needs of the constituency.
No, my goal is to reach out to the different supporters in the different villages in the constituency. Because I always believe it is important for us to unify, because that's the only how we could go forward and be successful. I will continue to do my house to house, and then from that I will also develop different plans that would benefit the people and the constituency of South Windward, because I don't want to give them, it's not about Darren, it's about us, what we want and what you want for the constituency of South Windward.
John is no stranger to politics, having been actively involved with the ULP at the youth level for several years. He told SVG-TV News that his desire to serve the people through politics has been a long-standing goal.
Yes, when I started off in 2009, when we had the referendum, and then I moved on in 2010, campaigning for the current MP, Honorable Frederick Stevenson, I see myself as, a future representative for the constituency, because I grew up in sports and in community activities, so I always see myself, giving back and wanting to help people. As I said on the candidate selection, I thank them. I couldn't have done it without God and without them, and I will continue to strive my best to serve the people.
The newly selected candidate is currently pursuing a PhD at a university in Taiwan, but assured constituents that his studies will not interfere with his political responsibilities.
Now, in September, I'll be moving into my third year as a PhD student. No, I am not I'm not considering putting it on hold, and I'm just actually doing my research work with writing journal paper and also preparing to do my defense, because I am doing research on technology acceptance as it relates to the financial sector. So I believe I'll be able to balance both politics, the people, and also my studies, so that I will be able to complete and have my PhD by next year, 2026.
John will face off against the New Democratic Party's candidate Andrew John in what is expected to be a key race in the upcoming elections. The South Windward seat has traditionally been a ULP stronghold, but the entrance of new candidates on both sides adds a fresh dynamic to the political landscape. Louise Mitchell, daughter of the late Sir James Mitchell, founding leader of the New Democratic Party, is expected to become a member of Parliament should the NDP assume office. This was shared by NDP Vice President and long-standing Central Kingston representative St. Clair Leacock during a village meeting held in Otley Hall recently. In her maiden political address, Mitchell expressed her deep interest in the fisheries sector, pledging to prioritize its development. She emphasized that under an NDP government, there would be a dedicated Ministry of Fisheries, a structural shift aimed at giving focused attention to the challenges and opportunities within the sector.
Health depends on the fish that we eat. And as the fish population depletes over the years, the health of Vincentians also deteriorates. The New Democratic Party is going to prioritize the fisheries sector. And in order to do so, we have determined that we are going to create a separate ministry for fisheries. We are going to be moving it away from agriculture so that it will have a pride of place in the macroeconomic development of the country. And as such, the Ministry of the Blue Economy will be there for the fisheries, the sustainable fisheries sector to be developed.
Mitchell, who has previously advocated for sustainable fishing practices and supported the provision of safety equipment through the Environment Fund, reiterated her commitment to ensuring all fishermen are equipped with devices that can improve safety at sea. She also outlined plans to increase the conch population, addressing ecological concerns and overfishing. Additionally, Mitchell pointed to the decline in fish catches in recent years, noting that reversing this trend would reduce the country's reliance on imported fish.
We will also ensure that the fisheries infrastructure is improved. We have so many fisheries centers that are in deplorable condition. We have fisheries centers such as the one in Beryl. When the fishers come ashore, there isn't even any storage or ice box for them to put the fish on. We will commit to improving the fisheries sector so that our fishers can feel supported, much more supported than they do under the Unity Labour Party. Under this Labour Party, what have we seen in fisheries? Recently, what we're seeing is much greater imports of fish from Venezuela and other countries. If you go down to the fish market to buy fish, you may not find local fish, but you will be sure to find fish from Venezuela to buy. That is us going backwards, not going forwards.
Mitchell also touched on broader maritime development plans, including the revitalization and expansion of shipyards and marinas, such as the underutilized facility at Otley Hall. She stated that transforming this infrastructure would provide significant benefits to local fishermen and support marine tourism.
The Otley Hall Shipyard and Marina is a project that used to bring in up to $3.5 million every year into this country. In 2018, the dry dock collapsed and it has never been fixed. This Unity Labour Party government has chosen not to invest in Otley Hall. Why do they not want to invest in a business that was generating so many jobs for this community and even for communities outside of Otley Hall? Why did they not want to keep and maintain this shipyard that was so desperately needed to service so many vessels that we have here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Is it because they wanted to diminish the legacy of James Mitchell? Is it because they saw this as an NDP project and they did not want to maintain it and see it thrive?
Louise Mitchell, a trained environmental lawyer and advocate, has long been involved in sustainability initiatives in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Her entrance into frontline politics marks a continuation of her family's political legacy with a renewed focus on marine sustainability, local economic empowerment, and infrastructure development. Discipline and patience are crucial to success in music, says Delroy Fireman Hooper, the reigning 2025 Soca Monarch King. Hooper made the statement during a live radio interview on WeFM this morning, where he reflected on his journey and recent victory. Hooper emphasized that his love for carnival and soca music continues to fuel his passion and creativity. It was that same passion, he said, that led to his powerhouse collaboration with Gamal's Skinny Fabulous Doyle on the track Erupt, which secured them the 2025 Soca Monarch title.
Over the years, Skinny stayed out like 6 years now, and all the other guys who stopped competing. So then I was holding the show, right, to make sure that we still have Soca Monarch going on, and it wasn't about just like winning Soca Monarch.
All right.
It was like, I tell you, I do carnival, and you know, mass, the meaning of mass is adverb, a adjective, a noun, a pronoun. Yes, mass are everything. So that is mass. So when Skinny called me and tell me he have an idea and if we could sit down and put a song together, I called him and tell him we need, well, Soca Monarch make all of us.
Yeah.
So I call him and I tell him, man, I think we need to build back the show that make all of us who we are, which is Soca Monarch.
Hooper also addressed questions about future collaborations, noting that no firm plans have been made for 2026. He explained that it remains unclear whether he and Doyle will team up again or if they will even compete next year.
The thing is, music is not a fly-by-night thing. So it doesn't mean our creativity this year is going to be next year, right? Who's going to call who, if that's the case. And I don't know if Doyle, I accustomed calling him Doyle. And yes, and he called me Ruler. So I don't know.
Okay.
Yes, I don't know if Mr. Doyle is gonna call me on a collab again, or if I'm gonna call him on a collab. I don't know if he want to participate in the Monarch again. I don't know if I want to participate in the Monarch again. Like I said, I don't study Soca Monarch. All these years, I don't study Soca Monarch. I just do it when it comes. So sometime up to the last week of Soca Monarch, that is when but we just be making preparation just in case I tell my team, okay, yes. So I don't study Soca Monarch. It's not like how everybody does be gravitating to Soca Monarch like the other people who compete. No, I don't study, I don't talk about Soca Monarch at all.
Okay.
Yes, I go and I win Soca Monarch. That's what I'm supposed to do. Yes, but I don't go around discussing Soca Monarch every day. So I don't know what Doyle have planned, right? We're not thinking about that. But let me just hope that when next year comes and the competition is there, then we see what happens.